This problem, number 31, is a good opportunity to review completing the square. So the purpose of completing the square is often to put a polynomial in vertex form, but sometimes it's used to solve. In this one, it says we are trying to determine the exact values of x, so that would mean we're solving for x. So when we're solving for x and it says the exact values, that means you're going to leave it in square root form, or you're going to show all the numbers of the calculator display. So I'm going to recommend that we leave it in square root form. So I'll show every step of this. You have x squared minus 8x, leave a space, and then put your plus 6 equals 0. My process is to take half of this middle term. I like to show that. So I'll have negative 4 is half of negative 8, and you square that. Negative 4 squared is really negative 4 times negative 4, or 16. So you're going to add that here. Now, in order to keep the equation balanced, if you add inside those parentheses, you want to subtract outside the parentheses so that you're saying, net, I'm not doing anything to this equation right now. I'm just adding that. So I'm kind of modeling it into a different form. So every single time you complete the square, you can follow the same pattern. It turns into x minus or plus, depends on what this sign is. This is a minus, half of that term. So x minus 4, half of 8, half of the negative 8 gives you negative 4 squared. Because x minus 4 times x minus 4 will give you, when you multiply it out, I can show this, x minus 4 times x minus 4 will give you x squared minus 4x minus 4x plus 16, or x squared minus 8x plus 16. That's exactly what you've written up here. The purpose of completing the square is to get it in this form of x minus h for that vertex form. Now you have your plus 6 and minus 16, which will simplify to minus 10 equals 0. So if you just wanted to get it in a vertex form, you're done, because you have your x minus h squared plus k. However, they ask you to solve. So I'm going to go ahead and approach this like I'm solving for x, which I am. So I'll add 10 to both sides. I'll have x minus 4 quantity squared equals 10. And now the opposite of squaring is to take the square root of both sides. So this will cancel out, giving you x minus 4 equals, remember, when you're doing the square root, you can have the positive square root or the negative square root. So put that plus or minus there. And now to finish it off, we're going to add 4 to both sides. It's customary to put it on the front. So I'll show it here off to the side, but it's customary to say 4 plus or minus radical 10, so that there's no chance to think that that 4 is underneath the square root. Just, it's convention. That is enough to answer the question. Some students will take that extra step of saying x is equal to 4 plus radical 10, or 4 minus radical 10. You do not have to do that. You also do not have to key this into the calculator. In fact, I suggest you don't, so that you've got those exact values, no chance for any kind of error with your decimals.